When you've read as many thrillers as me, they're never going to surprise you that often.
That's what Sarah J Maas does to me, like I can't put it down.
Which is good. I like it when a book kind of instantly brings you in, you know?
I'm like, why did Friday morning me want that?
There's no need for you to use about 1 million words and you could just use 5.
She's starting to plant seeds, you know, SJ Maas, she plants it. She's a little gardener.
Hi guys, welcome back to Petite Perspective. I don't know if G did an intro for this video, but if she didn't, then here's the intro. This week we're just doing a mood reading vlog. I have just finished today Just Another Missing Person by Gillian McAllister. I thought it was really good actually. There was lots of twists and turns. One of them I did figure out for myself quite early on, figured it out, but when you've read as many thrillers as me, they're never going to surprise you that often. But then towards the end there were lots of surprises. It's basically about a girl that goes missing, who's last seen on CCTV entering an alleyway, and then she never comes out. And then the detective has to then obviously try and find her. Right, I've just read the synopsis. I don't think that's actually what happens, what it says in the last sentence, because it says, because someone just threatens Julia, find Olivia and we'll take your daughter. But that doesn't happen until like the end. So there's so much more that like happens in the middle of it. I'm not really sure that's relevant. But anyway, yeah, I just finished this and I've given it 4 stars. I read it in like a week, which is great. I'm finally back. We're back, guys. We're back. Better than ever. Reading, and actually reading more than like 4 pages a day. So this was good. So before I kind of pick my next read, I want to talk you through the books that I recently purchased. So hopefully you will have seen our first video of the year, which was just a bookish day in London, where I forgot all of my Waterstones vouchers that I'd got for Christmas. You will have seen from that video, it's pure chaos and neither one of us really came out with anything. So I'm going to talk you through the books that I ended up ordering when I then got home on the same day with said Waterstones vouchers when I found them. So the first book I'm going to talk you through is The Ministry of Time by Kellyanne Bradley, which is actually the only book that I picked up when we were actually out book shopping. I've wanted to read this for such a long time, and I saw Hayley Pham had read it and she loved it, and apparently if you're lovers of Emily Henry, then you should read this. I've only read Funny Story and Happy Place by Emily Henry, so I've still got the backlist to read, but I do love her writing style. Yeah, I picked this one up in the hardcover copy because that's all they had in Waterstones. But look at the inside of it. It's like, see how cool that is? It's like a ship. How cool is that? And then because it's a hardback, I didn't notice this until I got it home. But on the front it says, the only thing you can mend is the future. And on the back it says, oh, love, life's greatest catastrophe. And like, I just, like, obviously it's red, so it doesn't really match the theme of this room, bearing in mind that wall is green. But it's just nice. I love little things like this, like little quirks. Like I love my copy of Divine Rivals because it's got the gold typewriter on it. So like things like this just really tickle a part of my brain. So yeah, it's almost like a little bit of like a dystopian romance kind of vibe. But I am, yeah, really looking forward to reading that. It's something slightly different, which is nice, I think, sometimes to pick up a book that's a little bit on the different side. There's really no other word to that, but I've used the word different twice. Next up we have With Love from the Morishiki Bookshop. Now this actually has days at the Morishaki Bookshop and more days at the Morishaki Bookshop in the same book. Try saying that 100 times. So I just thought this was absolutely stunning, and we saw this one in Waterstones and I thought it was absolutely beautiful. And again, look at that. Ugh. And I'm just trying to like try books that are completely like out of my comfort zone. I think I haven't really seen that much about these, but that could just be because I haven't really explored anything. But I just thought this was absolutely stunning. Again, putting me slightly out of my comfort zone because I've never read anything like this before. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading this one as well. Next up we have Conviction by Jack Jordan, which is about a career making case. It's giving me, I can't remember what the name of the book, I will insert a picture of it here, but a book that I read, I think it was last year. That's so funny to say last year. But anyway, this follows a very similar case, I think. Wade Darling stands accused of murdering his family. Neve Harper is the barrister defending him. The odds aren't in her favour, but Neve has always liked a challenge. Neve must make a choice, go against every principle she has ever had, or watch everything she's built be destroyed. So, yeah, sounds interesting. Sounds like a classic little thriller, and we all know I love one of those. We're now going to quick fire around the next ones because you will have seen them on the Book Girlies other channels, and otherwise we'll be here. The whole video will be me just walking through all of these books. So we have got Sally Hepworth's Darling Girls, Christina Henry, Alice, or if you're me, Elise, Anne Napolitano's Hello Beautiful, Ashley Poston, A Novel Love Story, Abby Jimenez, Yours Truly, Dolly Alston's Good Material, Apples Never Fall by Lynn Moriarty, Christina Hanna's Firefly Lane. So they're all the books that I bought recently. We're going to read The Ministry of Time because I've wanted to read this for ages and I've been really looking forward to reading this. So this is going to be the book that I read in this video.
Happy Friday, everyone. It is Friday the 10th of January. I am working from home today and I'm on my lunch break, so I thought that I would just talk books with you because I love using my work from home lunch breaks as time to just sit and read for an hour, like uninterrupted. Well, obviously I'll make myself some lunch, so it's normally about like 45 minutes by the time I've done that, but I am on chapter 15 of my book. I'm on back page 115 of Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas, which is the second book in the Throne of Glass series. I feel like because it's such a contentious topic in this series where to read Assassin's Blade. Obviously I haven't read Assassin's Blade yet because I'm doing it like the romantic way, not the traditional way. So I've obviously read Throne of Glass, and in Crown of Midnight she's kind of talking about things that have happened in the past, but you kind of don't really know what's like, you don't know the full ins and outs, because I think, if I'm correct, that all happens in Assassin's Blade. So I'm excited for that. It's kind of upping the ante on, oh my god, sorry about my hair. It's kind of upping the ante on like the events that happened in Assassin's Blade. So if you've read it and you've done it in this order, please can you tell me that I'm doing the right thing? Because people are like, read it then, read it fourth, read it third, read it first. And I'm like, oh my god, I've never known anything like this. But yeah, I'm having a great time. I do want to read something other than Throne of Glass, the Throne of Glass series, this week, only because I think the video will be really boring. So I might start like a second book on the weekend, but I think it will probably be, if I do, it'll probably be like non-fiction, because I like the idea of reading one fiction, one non-fiction. I recently listened to I Want to Die, but I Want to Eat Teppanyaki. I think, please don't like quote me, I can't think of what the word is, and I just ordered from Amazon the second one because I really loved the first one and related to a lot of the stuff that she was talking about. So I've ordered that second book and I really would like to read that over the weekend and do some sort of annotating in that, so we can do that together. Yeah, so that's my sort of mood reading for this week. I know it's probably boring because I'm reading a series and I'm just carrying on with the series, but that's what Sarah J Maas does to me. Like, I can't put it down. I was gonna say I might break after Crown of Midnight, but I feel like I need to do three in and then break, because I think Heir of Fire is quite a big one. So maybe I will break after Crown of Midnight. I don't know. We'll see. If I want to go straight into the next one, I'm just allowing myself to go straight into the next one. So I'm on a book buying ban, so I kind of do need to read them because I do have other stuff to read, but I'll keep you guys updated. Some hours have passed since I saw you guys last. Some day has been had. I have had the day of it. I'm literally going to the cinema, just putting some makeup on because my friend wants to see that Baby Girl film. I don't know. It's got Nicole Kidman and Harris Dickinson in it. I don't know his last name, but I do know that he's cute. So we're literally going to see that. I think it's meant to be quite like book talky, like not Wattpaddy, but it's quite like, I think it's quite raunchy. I'm literally in like the coziest outfit. I'll show you. Uno momento, por favor. If you don't go to the cinema in your big jumper and leggings and comfy clothes, then I don't know what you're doing. But I will tell you my review of the film once I've watched it. I basically said yes to these plans because I was like, I need to get out. Like, I wanted to allocate this weekend just for like me time and chilling, and like it's January, no one has any money, no one wants to go anywhere, no one wants to drink. Like, I'm trying to do dry Jan, I don't really want to drink anything, I don't really want to eat anything bad. So I was like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna, my friend was like, what are you doing, do you want to go and see this film, blah blah. And I was like, yeah, because I was like, oh, I should get out really. Friday morning, I'm always like, yeah, say yes to things, like go out, enjoy the weekend. And then when it gets to Friday evening, I'm like, why did Friday morning me want that? Why did she want this? Why did she want to be putting on makeup at 6 p.m? But I'm gonna enjoy the film, and it's literally a film. I'm not gonna break my dry Jan. I'm not going out to like eat, or no, we are going out to eat. I'm not going out to like bars and stuff, which is too cold to do in this weather. I don't know whether anyone knows that, but bars are and clubbing and drinking is actually cancelled in weather like this. But yeah, I just feel like book girlies will know that sometimes there's nothing better than coming home and opening your book and just having that to focus on, which is what I wanted to do. For anyone who feels my pain every time they have to leave the house and then they kind of think, God, this is taking away from designated throne of glass time, I'm with you. I'm in your camp. I'm on your team. You're not weird. And if you ever need to explain yourself to anyone, just say, I don't want to go, I want to read my book, yeah? That's all you need to say. Just say, stop. Wait there a minute. Let me think about that. No, the answer is no. I want to sit and read my book. And if anyone says, that's not very sociable of you, say, what do you mean? I've got friends. I've got friends in my book and they're waiting for me. They're actually waiting for me to go and join them and read their story, you know? Like, the trial's on pause until I get there. So you think I'm not being sociable? I've got a whole group of people waiting for me. And then what can they say to that, you know? Say, I've got kingdoms full of people waiting on me to get there, you know? That's what I'd say. And if that fails, then just block my number. I'm back from the cinema. And it's like midnight. Why are films so long nowadays? Is that just a me being old thing? Or are films now about 18 hours long? It's like looking in the film, in the cinema, sorry, and it just like wasn't ending. I thought it was going to be more book talk vibes, but it's just straight up like weird vibes. I think tomorrow is Saturday, so I'm gonna just focus on my reading and have a nice chilled Saturday. Cinema is such like an outing now. Like, it really takes it out of me. I'm so old.
As I showed you yesterday, I talked you through the book that I just finished. I talked you through the recent purchases that I just had. I then started reading The Mystery of Time. I didn't read much. I think I literally had like half an hour. So I've barely scratched the surface. I've literally got like 7 pages into the book. No, okay, fine, 10. So yeah, so I've barely like scratched the surface on it. But we've met our 2 main characters, which is good. I like it when a book kind of instantly brings you in, you know? We are going for a roast with our friends later. Jamie's at golf, so I've got a couple of hours probably to sit here and read. It is freezing. Well, I don't know how to put the heating on in this house. I might just make a hot water bottle and get under a million blankets and just sit here and have a cosy little afternoon and try and get some reading done, because I've done nothing of the sort this morning. I had a shower, curled my hair, and then realised I looked a bit silly. Put a little bit of makeup on to make myself look like a real person. Had some food. And I watched like maybe 7 or 8 episodes of How I Met Your Mother. I literally haven't done anything. And I've been awake since like 8. So I just need to recenter, you know, bring back our best self. And the best way for me to do that is to read.
I'm on chapter 26 of my book. I'm about 200 pages in, and I'm enjoying it. I wouldn't say that like everything's happening, and I know that people say you need to kind of give Crown of Midnight and Throne of Glass, you just kind of need to like get through them, and then the series that really picks up. And I am enjoying it. It's not very action packed, which is fine by me because I literally love all like the court life and stuff, as in being in the kingdom and, you know, just living your life. But that's not the book that I actually wanted to talk to you guys about. It was one of my New Year's resolutions to start reading a bit of non-fic, as well as obviously all the fiction. that I read. So I started listening to I Want to Die But I Still Want to Eat. I'm not gonna butcher that. I know how I say it in my head, but it's 100% not right. And it's basically about a woman who goes to therapy and she like documents all her conversations that she has with her psychiatrist, and I genuinely loved it. Loved it. And even though, like, so I read the prologue last night just because I've ordered the second book. So this is the second book from Amazon. It is just got some like real gems of like self-help in here. But to know one's wounds and to pity oneself for them are two different things. Self-pity isn't necessarily bad, but perhaps people think badly of it because those who self-pity tend to concentrate on their own suffering and ignore the pain of others. Like, it's just great. As I said, she has conversations with her therapist and then like obviously put them into a book, and it's just all like split up into different like chapters, and like at the end of each chapter there's like really cool like little summaries of like what to take from the conversation. As I said, I started reading it last night, but I didn't get very far because I was really tired after reading Throne of Glass all evening. But yeah, I'm going to try and read at least like 10 pages of this a day, and I'll keep you guys updated. But if you want just like a little, because it's only about 200 pages, like when I was listening to the audiobook, I was like, oh my god, that's me. Oh my god, that's me. She's just very relatable and very like, it's nice to know that people kind of, not everything's perfect and people are going through things, and you know, this is what a therapist would say. So today's Sunday. I'm gonna sit in bed. So I've literally been sitting here in my bed and read for about another hour or so, maybe less than that, and then get up and get on with the rest of my day. But I thought that I would update you guys because I was in a bit of a reading slump at the end of last year, and I just couldn't, like literally couldn't see myself ever finishing a book again. And now that I've started like Throne of Glass, I'm like on my second book of the year already, and it's like what, the 10th 11th. So obviously I've picked the books back up. I'm still not setting a Goodreads goal because I don't think that was very healthy for me in the end, because I was like worrying about a goal that realistically, like, Goodreads aren't going to kick me off the site if I don't read it. It was just another pressure that I kind of didn't need. So I'm going to get on and read, and I'm listening to violin, like classical covers of, well, violin covers of songs, which is great if you want to listen to want to read fantasy books and listen to something, because it's great. And it's a snowy day and I'm literally just chilling for the next hour or so. So I'll catch up with you guys if anything dramatic happens in my book. But at the moment, nothing dramatic is happening. I know, like Throne of Glass people say, keep with it. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to keep with it. There's not even a question. Like, I'm really enjoying it. I feel like things are kind of, she's starting to plant seeds. You know, SJ Maas, she plants it. She's a little gardener. She loves planting a seed. So I'm getting bits of that, and I'm like, oh, should I pay attention to that? I should probably pay attention to that. But yeah, at the moment, nothing wild and action-packed is happening, which is fine. I'm enjoying it. I feel like it's gonna step up a level. Well, I don't know if I have to read Assassin's Blade next or after Air of Fire. So if I have to read it next, then obviously things are going to go backwards, but I'll keep you updated on that. Hello, me again. I know it may not look like it, and I'm going to need you to ignore the spot patch on my chin, but I have actually left the house and I'm back now in my natural habitat. Let's just go with that. Something major has just happened in this book. I'm now on part 2, it says. Part 2, The Queen's Arrow. I have no idea what that means. So that won't be a spoiler because I'm genuinely reading the book and I also have no idea what that means. I'm going to get my little reading fantasy with no vocals on my iPad and sit and read my little life away for the next couple of hours. Have some snacks. I've got some Crispies. But I'm going to try and see how much I can read over the next couple of hours. It's only 3 o'clock on Sunday the 12th of January. So I am genuinely just plotted up now for the day. I've done all my outside activities. I've meal prepped for the week. And it's not even 3 o'clock yet. So that is a gorgeous position to be in. There is some severe plots being thrown out, and I know my girl Sarah, she doesn't do like Nothing means nothing, if you get my drift. Nothing is just there. Nothing is not intentional, you know? So I've got big things for the second half of this book. So I'm going to get into that and I will keep you guys updated. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Fantasy books. Chef's kiss. Sarah J. Maas, you are the chef. Like, it's not even chef's kiss. It's just, she's the chef. She's the chef. Let her do her thing. This is my little Sunday night setup. I have my nonna's pasta, which, if you're Italian, you know. I have a little bit of true crime. Not too much because I'm a wimp. And I have a fun drink. I took a break from reading because I felt like I was getting a little bit, my attention span was getting bad. So I was like, oh no, here we go. I can either sit for like hours and read, or yeah, I just my attention span just goes, and I can feel my attention span going. So I went downstairs and I made some dinner, and it is about 6 o'clock now. I'm so sorry if you can hear the dog barking. Every time I pick up this camera, it seems he just has to bark at someone. I'm literally going to sit and watch some true crime. I am probably going to go back to reading before the day is over because I would like to get some more read. I think I'm probably about like 65% through my book. Things are happening. I can kind of see where it's going. Well, I think I can, but SJ Maas like just loves to throw in a little curveball at me. And I really did like the female lead before this book, but now I feel like, come on. Like, open your eyes, girl. There's a thing in this book and I really want her to like get involved in it. And she's just being a little bit of a dick about it, but hopefully she'll get involved soon.
Okay, so I spoke to you Sunday when I was feeling sorry for myself. So it's been a while. Have I done much reading? Not really. Have I filmed any clips? No. But we are still reading. Obviously, this is the Ministry of Time without the cover. It's good. Nothing's really happening. And there's something that's really annoying me about it. It's using clever words for the sake of using clever words. Now, I understand that the whole concept is that, like, you know, actually, no, that's not even the concept because it's not even about words. It's about time travel. So why are we talking about words? But they keep using this word. I feel like I'm going to have to Google it. It's like daguerreotype? A dagger. I don't know if that's how you even spell it. I'm pretty sure this woman is not using it in the right context. Because a daguerreotype is a detailed image created on a silver-coated copper plate using a photographic process invented by Louis-Jacques Mondaguer, makes sense, in 1839. Right, so that's what that is. I'm about 80% sure this woman is not using it in the right context because she's used it 3 times, what feels like for the sake of sounding clever. So I'm gonna now search this word. Will it let me search in the thing? Okay, well, it's not pulling it up. Probably because I haven't highlighted it. Maybe I should have highlighted it. Oh, okay, maybe it makes sense now that I actually know what it means. But I just feel like sometimes it's that the words it's using are just like clever for the sake of being clever. Like, just use a normal word. Like, why are we trying to make it so that we're feeling so clever? And there was like another one, I was like, why have you used that when you could have just said it a lot more simply? And that's the thing that's annoying me. Like, why are we using super clever words? Is there a reason? I don't think so. But now I can't find any of the other really clever words. So when it flags up to me again, I will point it out to you guys because it's just annoying me. Like, I just don't understand why we're using such clever words. Is there a need for it? Probably not. When we could have said something else that makes more sense to the general public. There's no reason to try and be clever. There's literally no other reason. But anyway, am I enjoying it? It's hard to say, isn't it? As I'm sure you can probably tell. I'm not disliking it. So I suppose that's something. But I think I maybe hyped it up too much in the hopes that it was going to be brilliant. And so far, it's not brilliant.
Guys, I finished my book. I'm just texting my friend because she's read, obviously, the Throne of Glass series. Oh my god. This series is 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Read it. And apparently it just gets better from here, so I'm so ready. But I think I'm gonna read a little bit of my self-help book just to go to sleep. and get rid of all of those fantasy. It's quite like high adrenaline when you're reading the last bit of a Sarah J Maas fantasy book, so I definitely need to like calm down. But I can't believe the plot that happened at the end of this book. I literally can't believe it. Oh my god, I can't believe it. I need to like go and stare at a wall for a minute. Hey guys, hey you guys. As you can see, I've got face mask on. Finished Crown of Midnight, really looking forward to the next one, but I'm taking a little bit of a Throne of Glass break because we have the book club again on the 3rd of Feb. I think we're going, Slice. Can you confirm if we're going or not? Yeah, so I'm going to read The Deadly Spark by Roxy Key. Once secrets catch, they spread. And it's basically deadly fires are lighting up Brighton, and the latest case is an alarmingly close to home for DC Eva Starling. So it's kind of like fantasy. It's not fantasy. It's kind of thrillery vibes about a police detective, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, I normally hate these types of books. I find the detective grates on me because they're so flipping annoying. Let's keep it PG. And thriller books, I just can't ever get into them the way that I would like to. I know this is like right up Slice's street, so she's probably going to love this book, but for me, I'm really, really dubious about this. Also, look at this. So my work got me this for Christmas. Can you guys see it? It says, I like big books and I cannot lie. And the girl, the little creature on there, is literally me with my glasses on at work. My boss found that hilarious. She was like, it looks just like you. Honestly, thanks for that. Yeah, so I'm going to read my book club book. I'm probably not going to read for ages because it's about 9 o'clock at night and I didn't finish work until very late. I wanted to read on my lunch break, ended up going out for lunch with my bosses, so that didn't happen. But I'm going to read and I'll let you guys know how the book club book is, if it's worth reading for fantasy girls. It's very out of my comfort zone, but that is what I think is the point of joining a book club, I guess, to read things out of your comfort zone, which is all well and good in theory, and then when you have to go from Sarah J Maas to that.
We are now nearly 250 pages into this book, and we are starting to get somewhere. Things are starting to happen, but I'm still not enamoured. That's probably the best way to say it. I'm not enamoured by this book. And here's my issue with it. I feel like it's trying too hard to be like a clever book. Like, it could have just been this lovely, silly little story about this civil servant who, like, you know, the way she like navigates helping this like time traveller man, like, through his experience of like coming back to like reality. Instead, it's kind of doing that, but like, it's too clever. Like, there's no need for it to be this clever. There's no need for you to use about 1 million words and you could just use 5. I'm not enamoured. That's the word I'm going to use. I'm now going to use clever words to describe how I feel about this book. Case in point that this author is using words that don't mean what she's intending to say. Here is a great example of that. Let me just read this to you. Whoever her editor is, they should also be fired. I bent my head to the cud gel. All right. I was like, what the hell does that mean? She bent her head to the headboard. She bent her head forward. She bent her head to her hands. You know, like what normal people do. No, a cud gel is a short, like, stick. When it's used in the proper term, it's like the example it had was she fell to the ground and they beat her with the cud gel. Which makes sense. Because it's a weapon. It's used to hit people. In what world does I bent my head to the cud gel make any sense? It doesn't. It's not relevant. It doesn't make any sense. Why are you trying to be clever? Like, that just doesn't make any sense. Just say, I bent my head to the headboard, which shows you're in despair, which is exactly the emotion she's feeling. That's what you're trying to show, despair. So use the correct word. Like, why are you making it so difficult?
I thought that I would give you guys a final little update from me in this video. We joined a book club, chapter 25 book club for anyone who knows, and we went to the first meeting and neither of us had read the Christmas book. So we kind of like, well, I listened to a little bit of it on audiobooks, and I think Slice did the same, but it wasn't our vibe. So we got the next book, and it's The Deadly Spark by Roxy Key. I don't think Slice has started it yet, but I am 154 pages in. So it's very like not thrillery, but it's like a detective story. And I'm either really hit and miss with detective stories, and the only sort of like crime type things like this that I like tend to be the Eddie Flynn series by Steve Kavanagh, which if you haven't read, then read, they're fantastic. Yeah, I'm not normally this type of person, and I think I know why, because I don't like all of the unanswered questions, and I get that you have to keep reading for them to be answered, but for me it's just so frustrating. Like there's different chapters or different things from the past, so like it'll be like chapter 27 was someone in the past, and then it goes back to the present, which again, like I get why they're writing, I get why they've done it. You can't just, there's no point telling us on page 1 what happened. I get that, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't extremely frustrate me, and I don't think these books are my bag anyway, but I'm trying it. I really just want to deep dive into Heir of Fire, the third in the Throne of Glass series, but I'm trying to expand my comfort zone, and I'm reading this. I don't think I'm going to go straight into Heir of Fire. I think I might read Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors next, but I just wanted to update you guys and say that I'm not enjoying book club, the book club book, for the second month in a row. But well, I suppose it's easy to read, but the writing's quite basic, and the plot is just, I just want to know, like, I realise that I'm just not into, like, who did this? Oh, this little da-da-da, in like books like this, you know, when they're trying to figure out a case. Unless it's Eddie Flynn. I've just realised that these are not my type of books, which I knew they weren't. It's not like a revelation. But yeah, so I'm literally meeting Slice for a walk, and then I'm going to carry on with my little read. But we'll see how far I get.
Well, we finished it. How do I feel about this book? Okay, first things first. I wrote some notes, and I think I can remember what my notes were. First things first, if you're writing a book that is set in the UK, do not use American spelling, because that's annoying. The continuity doesn't work for the reader. It doesn't flow as well. That's point number 1. Point number 2, I still have no idea what has happened in this book. I don't really know what's happened, because the words used are way too, I guess they're trying to be clever. They're trying to be like more clever than is necessary. And that's like really, I guess, shifted my perception of like what the book is supposed to be. Number 3, I'm also not going to set high expectations of books in the future, because I had the highest of expectations in the book for this book, and they weren't met. So I finished it, thank God. I'm between like a 2.5 and a 3, because at times I enjoyed it, and when we got to the 200 page mark, things started happening. Things started to like progress. The story started to feel like it was getting somewhere. So the last, I'd say 150-ish pages were good. The first 200, I was a bit bored, and it was taking too long to like set the scene, but there were bits of it that were funny. So I think I'm probably going to settle on a 3. Do I recommend this book? I think it's an interesting thing to read, but maybe my brain's just not clever enough for like how the words would be used, and maybe I should have read it at a different time. But we've read it, and that's it now. It's done. We finished it. I'm between, well, I need to read book club book for January, which is The Deadly Spark, but I also just want to go into Magnolia Parks. So I might start reading The Deadly Spark and see how I get on. But we might end up just reverting back to Magnolia for a week, because A, I miss those characters, B, I miss some writing that makes me feel like the world in reality is not even anywhere near as good as what is written in those books, and C, or 3, because I can't remember if I started with numbers or letters, I want to read something that is going to make me love reading. So yeah, this might be the end of this video. If it is the end of this video, see you later. I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed just us rambling about the books that we're reading. Catch you in the next one. Bye!